CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Brendan Purdy.
I'm personally encouraged by the progress that we're making.
Tonight on CTV News, no pipelines on tap. The Prime Minister announces the next nation-building projects. Good evening and thanks for joining us. Prime Minister Mark Carney has revealed 6 new nation-building projects through the Major Projects Office. Well, a pipeline project in Alberta isn't on the list. Premier Danielle Smith hopes an agreement is coming soon. 3 new critical minerals projects were revealed in Ontario, Quebec, and New Brunswick. 2 liquefied natural gas projects in BC will move ahead, as will an Inuit-owned hydroelectric energy project in Iqaluit. Premier Smith is still looking for movement on a pipeline. The Prime Minister was asked about Premier Smith's so-called grand bargain today.
We call it a memorandum of understanding, as does the Premier. Those discussions are going well. I'm personally encouraged by the progress that we're making. There's a few more issues that we're working on ironing out.
Carney says his government is looking for major investment that would shield Alberta, its oil and gas industry, and the country from risk. He also wants a possible pipeline project to be low cost and low carbon. Carney says he's looking forward to more progress in the coming weeks and says the Carbon Capture Pathways project is also a part of Alberta discussions. Well, Smith says the removal of what she calls anti-oil legislation is part of that MOU. She also says it includes, quote, ultimate approval of an Alberta to BC bitumen pipeline in addition to pathways.
Are we going to get to the finish line on an MOU? We'll know in a few more days. I'm very hopeful. I think if you watch the Prime Minister when he announced his major projects list today, he is also encouraged. We've made a lot of progress. We've been going back and forth on an MOU every day, I think, as we're getting the final wording, and I'm really hopeful that we'll have something more to say about that in a few days.
Smith says she's supportive of all the nation-building projects that were announced earlier today, adding while her previously announced deadline of a deal by the Grey Cup probably won't be met, both sides have a sense of urgency and believes there will be an answer within the next few days. She says an MOU would also make it easier to find a private proponent to pay for a pipeline. A stolen car that crashed into the guardrail along the Anthony Henday caused some major delays early this morning. Our CTV drone caught some aerial footage of the scene. Police say while patrolling in the southeast around 3 a.m., they saw the vehicle take a hard turn and speed away. Air One then began to follow it. EPS said the car reached up to speeds of 250 kilometers an hour, and the driver was running red lights and driving erratically. Police disabled the vehicle's tires near the Henday and White Mud before it crashed into the guardrail. A 22-year-old man was arrested, and police say that charges are pending. A man is thanking firefighters for helping him salvage important legal documents from his burned-out home. He and more than a dozen other people lost most of their belongings in a West End apartment fire last night. CTV's Nariman Issa has the story.
About 20 hours after a fire broke out at this apartment building in the Jasper Place neighborhood, crews remained on scene dousing hot spots.
It was deep within the building, making it very difficult to extinguish. You have to get access to the fire, first of all, locate it exactly without it. And by that time, it had already extended within a large amount of the building, going up the walls and eventually into the ceiling.
The damage is extensive.
We do have some heavy equipment coming in, and we can hopefully pick through this and actually fully extinguish this. We have to take the roof off. It's not safe for any of our members in there right now.
Fire broke out just after 5 p.m. last night. No injuries were reported. 22 tenants are displaced, along with about a dozen pets. This tenant lives on the top floor. Abby Manicandon wanted to see what was left of his place. He asked firefighters to do what seemed impossible, help find important documents.
I know where my documents are, and so I just asked them to see, is it possible to have a look into the room, or is there any way?
Manicandon stored his passport, work permits, and other legal documents in a special case. He told fire crews where they were. They were found spared from water or fire damage.
So the file is safe, but I lost all other things at the moment. So I'm so grateful to get those documents actually.
These were the two firefighters who took on the challenge.
They were able to go in off their bucket, tied in, found his documents, retrieved them in an absolute pristine condition. These guys just did a sensational job. Very impressed with them.
The district fire chief hopes this serves as a reminder to ensure your documents are protected in case of fire. Naram Nisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Police have laid second-degree murder charges in connection with a death in downtown Edmonton last month. In early October, a 42-year-old man died after being shot near 107 Ave and 109th Street. A 20-year-old man has been charged with second-degree murder. Police say the two didn't know each other. Police have released an AI image to identify a woman who was found dead near Bellamy Hill Road last winter. The woman was found in a waste disposal bin near the end of December. Her death isn't considered suspicious. Police say she was captured on surveillance video walking up an alley and getting into the bin. She's described as an Indigenous woman between 25 and 35 years old with shoulder-length brown and red hair. She had a flower tattoo on her shoulder and was wearing a brown puffer jacket and brown boots. The Gondola idea is back with a new city council and a call for ideas to repurpose the historic Rossdale power plant. Prairie Sky is hopeful its gondola can become part of that vision. Its president says it's still the best way to solve the access issues in Rossdale. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
Imagine boarding a gondola on the edge of downtown and being whisked away into and across the river valley. That's the vision that earned top spot in a 2018 competition for big ideas.
The dream is still very much alive.
President Jeffrey Hansen Carlson says Prairie Sky has been in a holding pattern since City Council shelved the gondola proposal 3 years ago.
We would be able to basically modernize our business case very quickly. All of our partners, all of our international investors remain committed.
Now that there's an open call for ideas to repurpose the historic Rossdale power plant, Hansen Carlson says it's a perfect opportunity to revisit the gondola proposal. The power plant would have been one of 5 stations between downtown and White Avenue. He believes it's still the best and least disruptive way to get big crowds in and out of an area with limited access points.
There are other approaches and ways that we can tackle that. Again, always open to all ideas, but I don't think that there's only one solution here.
Councillor Ann Stevenson voted against leasing land to Prairie Sky 3 years ago. Most councillors then felt there hadn't been enough consultation with Indigenous groups who consider the Rossdale Flats sacred land. Plus, there was pushback from people who live in the neighborhood over privacy. Mayor Andrew Knack says any proposal would need to demonstrate clear private sector viability and strong community support before it could be reconsidered. Prairie Sky is prepared to work with the city again, despite some hard feelings from past rejection.
We want them to reach out to us, right? We've done the work any private, unsolicited proponent would. We've invested millions of dollars in this.
Hansen Carlson says Prairie Sky is in talks with at least one developer about a pitch for the power plant that includes a gondola. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Primary Care Alberta has declared a tuberculosis outbreak in Edmonton's inner city. The decision was made in October after 2 homeless people were infected with the same strain, suggesting the illness has been transmitted in Edmonton. Primary Care says so far this year, 12 cases have been connected to Edmonton's inner city. TB mainly affects the lungs and can be spread through coughing, sneezing, and spit. It can be treated with antibiotics. The fluoride debate has been rekindled. Some people are worried about the fate of the mineral in municipal water ahead of provincial discussions later this month. CTV's Tim Brook explains.
In 2 weeks, UCP members will vote on 35 new ideas for the party. Among them, Policy Resolution 27, a call to end the practice of community water fluoridation because it constitutes medical treatment without consent.
There's money in causing people to be frightened.
Many can't believe it's a subject being brought up again. Fluoride was reintroduced into Calgary's water system after 62% of voters said they were in favor of it in 2021.
The people of Calgary want fluoridation. They know what happened when it was taken. They had a decade of decay, and they're fed up with it.
Anti-fluoride groups are currently in court and say they are lobbying the province to take away the naturally occurring mineral. Like some south of the border, they believe fluoride is dangerous.
Only about 205,000 Calgarians voted for water fluoridation in 2021, and about 130,000 voted against it. But right now, there's about 1.8 million people that are being fluoridated.
Of course, no decisions have been made, and UCP policy resolutions aren't automatically turned into law if members vote yes. But they have often been a jumping-off point for future legislation.
I think it's just another case of the UCP in general wanting to control everything in municipalities. The overreach that they've already shown is pretty significant and quite appalling.
The party, the municipal affairs minister, and the constituency associations which submitted the policy resolution all denied interview requests.
We are continuing to work with municipalities who would like input into that decision making. But, Mr. Speaker, it is a municipal decision at this point in time.
And dentists are hoping it stays that way.
It's proven to reduce cavity risk in communities that have it, across all ages, but especially in younger children. We really are acting in everyone's best interest and kind of against our own by suggesting fluoride go in waters.
The AGM starts November 28th in Edmonton. Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
The UCP did send a statement saying it encourages debate amongst members, reiterating not every idea discussed will be accepted. A former Alberta Chief Medical Officer of Health says Canada's loss of measles elimination status could be a sign of what's to come. Dr. James Talbot says the vaccine hesitancy that's contributed to the outbreak could lead to a resurgence of other rare diseases. For examples, he says mumps and rubella shots come as a package with measles vaccine, so opting out means losing protection from all three. Speaking today on Alberta Primetime, Talbot says because infection rates of these types of diseases has been low for so long, many people think they've completely gone away. He says bacteria and viruses are still circulating around the world and across our country.
These are not things that we want to wait until people understand the urgency, because they've seen cases happen. And all of the rates for immunization for those diseases are way below where they should be in Alberta.
The province says measles cases are down 90% from the peak of the outbreak, with 2 active cases in Alberta as of Monday. It says it's seen a 50% increase in vaccination rates since March compared to the same period last year. The Christmas Bureau of Edmonton has launched its holiday fundraising campaign.
We can rebuild it.
The organization held its annual gingerbread house competition at the expo this afternoon. 18 teams from a variety of industries competed in an effort to raise funds and awareness for the Christmas Bureau. Teams had to raise a minimum of $500 in order to participate.
The creative minds in our city is just amazing. We've got a Home Alone house, we've got a Taste of Edmonton house, we've got a seniors facility. It's amazing.
The Christmas Bureau has been serving nutritious holiday meals to Edmontonians for 85 years. This year, thousands of applications have already been submitted from families in need. Patients at the Stollery now have a paw to hold for comfort and support. The hospital has a dog on staff, a first in Canadian child life specialist facility. CTV's Amanda Anderson has the story.
2-year-old Pumbaa is the newest staff member at the Stollery Children's Hospital.
There's lots of sounds, noises, smells, people, tons of different people who come through here. So we needed to make sure that we really had a bomb-proof for that sound dog, that behaviorally sound dog, that'd be able to handle this type of environment.
He's the most chill lab I've ever met. He just has a calming nature about him. He loves to cuddle and snuggle, and that's his favorite thing to do with the kids, is snuggle on their beds with them.
Matthew Davis's son Jake was one of Pumbaa's first patients.
He was in a medically induced coma, and Pumbaa was actually even just laying beside him, even when he wasn't awake. And what's interesting is now that he's in his recovery stage, he still talks about actually recognizing that Pumbaa was there.
Jake has an extremely rare genetic condition with the inability to repair his DNA. He developed a form of cancer on his liver, requiring a transplant from his mom. They've been at the Stollery since August, with Pumbaa there every step of the way.
You lead the way.
And having the ability to have somebody like Pumbaa here has been even great for me as a parent, just seeing how happy Jake is when Pumbaa comes by.
Pumbaa's here at the Stollery 4 days a week. He puts in an 8-hour shift, but about 6 of those are spent with patients.
Big jump.
Pumbaa is there for emotional support during tests and procedures and serves as motivation to help kids overcome fears.
To be able to provide that safety and that comfort to children in a really unfamiliar, scary environment is amazing.
All costs for Pumbaa are taken care of by the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation donors. Since July, he's already tended to the needs of hundreds of young patients.
To even be able to witness what he can do that I can't do.
Do we see? Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Just ahead, Serves Up. A new racket sport facility opens up in Edmonton. Plus, fraudulent follies. We bring you the conclusion from the latest edition of the Crime Tapes.
Only a brief comment, which is that we're pleased that things are proceeding, and Mr. Lissick would like to see this matter resolved as quickly as possible.
Good evening, folks. It's going to start feeling a lot more like the calendar says as seasonal temperatures roll in for the foreseeable future. A little gusty on Friday as well. Talk more about that. Take a look ahead to the weekend in just a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. In 2002, Edmonton bank manager Nick Lissick was implicated in a fraud scheme that saw him steal $16 million from the Bank of Montreal. As we showed you yesterday in this historic case, the amount of evidence was so overwhelming that Lissick had to cut a deal. Here's part 2 in the latest edition of the Crime Tapes.
After years of falsifying records to steal millions of dollars, bank manager Nick Lissick was found out during an audit at his West End branch. $16 million was missing from the Bank of Montreal, and there was an easy trail as to where some of it went. It included jewelry and furs, homes and hot rods, and all of it leading back to Nick Lissick, leaving him only one choice: make a deal and plead guilty. Here's what it looked like from our crime tapes.
Nick Lissick walked away from court saying nothing, but inside he pleaded guilty to defrauding his former employer, the Bank of Montreal, of more than $16 million. Where did it go to? Nick Lissick took more than $4 million. His girlfriend, who was an escort, named Lillian Green, got nearly $3.5 million. Other escorts Lissick met over the same 6-year period he stole the money received another $3.5. Amanda Orr was one of many, receiving a paltry $116,000. He did it by using names of friends and family, but by falsifying their net worth. The scam continued as long as interest was paid on more than $15 million. The bottom fell out during an audit in 2002. Lissick was arrested a few days later. At least 40 cars were recovered by the bank, 17 pieces of property, as well as furnishings and fine jewelry. The defense will be a psychologist who says Lissick was chronically depressed during the time the money went missing. His lawyer wouldn't speculate on how this sentencing hearing might end.
Only a brief comment, which is that we're pleased that things are proceeding, and Mr. Lissick would like to see this matter resolved as quickly as possible.
Lissick was sentenced to 7 years and 4 months. He was granted day parole little more than a year after he went inside. And in 2008, the Bank of Montreal finally closed the books on trying to recover all the assets stolen by the former branch manager. After seizing all the property, selling off all the assets, then paying their own legal fees, the bank was only able to recoup $6 million of the missing money, leaving them close to $10 million short. I'm David Owasik, and this has been a story from the crime tapes.
Tennis and pickleball players won't have to wait until spring to get into the game. A new facility is now open in West Edmonton. CTV's Gates Guarin has more from the hard court.
Tony Jong has found himself returning to the tennis court. He's now able to lace up his tennis shoes all year round at a brand new facility.
This is a really nice facility, especially since we don't actually have very many indoor courts in Edmonton, so it's nice to have some extra ones.
The IQ Tennis and Pickleball Center in West Meadowlark Park only opened a couple of weeks ago, and operations are already in full swing.
We have a very hard winter here where a lot of people don't go outside, so it keeps people, healthy, active, our seniors, our kids.
The center has bookable courts under a dome, allowing players like Jong to get a match in any time of the year.
It's beautiful, compared to what was here before. They had the public tennis courts, and they were pretty rough, run down, lots of cracks.
The center previously received a $1.5 million grant from the province to help in its maintenance and construction, which began back in the summer. IQ's co-founder says the facility is needed to meet a growing demand.
The demand is so huge, right? And there's only, if you think about it, there's only 2 public places in the whole city where you can play tennis not being a member, just paying, renting the court and going home.
Jong has seen a resurgence in tennis himself and a growing interest in pickleball.
Clearly, there are more people playing tennis, more people playing pickleball as well. So I think if those people, want to continue with the sport, then I think facilities like this are really great.
He hopes to see more of these pop up around the city so others can check it out for themselves. Gates Guarin, CTV News, Edmonton.
Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
Welcome back. -2 this morning, 4 degrees for a daytime high today. So it was still above average, but not as warm as the past couple of days. Not even as warm as we thought. We thought we'd get to 6 or 7 for a daytime high today. Yeah, that warm air stayed just south of Edmonton. It was 17 degrees in Red Deer this afternoon. We've had snow falling across the north, through western areas of the province, drifting through central regions of Alberta, but you can see skies are clearing for tomorrow, so we'll get some sunshine tomorrow afternoon in the Edmonton area. We'll start Saturday with some clouds. You get another chance of some snow here across northern Alberta, but clearing in the Edmonton area. It looks like our next best chance of seeing some snow doesn't come until Tuesday of next week. -4, Fort McMurray, Edmonton area tomorrow morning should be about -6 in Grand Prairie. We'll see daytime highs tomorrow just slightly above 0 in Grand Prairie, but about 2, maybe 3 degrees below 0 with cloudy skies across the northeast. -1 for Lloydminster, +1s, Red Deer as well as Jasper. Jasper gets some sunshine, and we've had heavy snow in through the mountain parks, especially at higher elevations. 15 to 30 centimeters of snow potentially on the ground along the Icefields Parkway and higher elevations through the mountain parks by tomorrow morning. Gusty, and that'll be the case right through the overnight period and into tomorrow morning. You can see off to the north and to the east, wind to be even stronger, 30 gusting to 50 kilometers per hour. Here in Edmonton, we'll see the wind gusts stick around through the mid-afternoon hours and then finally start to die down late in the day, although it will stay gusty in eastern Alberta right through to tomorrow night. 2 degrees for a daytime high tomorrow and Saturday, 4 on Sunday, and then +1 for Monday. We're back below 0 for a daytime high Tuesday with that chance of snow, and somewhere in the +2 to -2 range for highs all of next week. That is your forecast.
A bull riding battle between Edmonton's sports mascots has become an annual tradition ahead of PBR Canada's national finals, which are going this weekend at Rogers Place.
And we're going. Give it up for Hunter, trying to do some bull surfing.
Surf's up. 5 Edmonton mascots took part in the competition, earning style points along the way. Dozens of students showed up to cheer on their favorite mascots. Punter from the Edmonton Elks, he took home first place. Hunter from the Oilers and River from the Riverhawks came second and third.
Yeah, that's what got them the win was, that extra effort. You can really appreciate it when they go through all the effort of making sure they look the part too. So, it was definitely cool to see that.
The national finals kick off tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Oh, looking forward to the PBR action. We'll have more on Nick Tetz tomorrow night live from the PBR. Until then, that's all for us on this Thursday. Thanks for wrapping up your day with us. We'll see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place. Until then, take care and goodbye for now.